Hi everybody, today I'm coming on to show you how to make these little crochet butterflies. Now this tutorial follows on directly from my previous tutorial about how to make bows with tails, with and without tails. And I apologise for the yarn I used in the last one. It split dreadfully. You can see it here, you can almost see every bit of the yarn. It was very, very hard to use. So today I'm going to be making these butterflies just using plain purple acrylic. Now I'm going to be referring back to techniques and stitches that I used in the previous video. And I also forgot to say in the previous video that the pattern for the crochet bows with and without tails is written out in plain English in the description box. So I'll put the link to the crochet bows pattern into the description box of this video. So if you want to follow that video first maybe and see what's done in a bit slower. Anyway, once again we start off by making a magic loop. Take the yarn coming from the ball, wrap it around either 2 or 3 fingers. I wrap it around 1.5 times because I find that's what works best for me. And I take the yarn that's coming from the ball and I put it behind the first loop I've made. Then I get my hook and I slip it under, I slip it under the first loop. Sorry, this is not working well for me today, folks. Sorry about this. I'll start all over again. I take the yarn that's coming from the ball and I wrap it around 3 fingers this time, and I wrap the yarn coming from the ball behind the first wrap. Then I put my hook under the first wrap, catch up the second loop, as I catch up the second loop and give it a twist, a bit of a twist as I'm pulling it through to secure it. And that's where the pattern begins. First you make your magic loop and then you make 3 chains. I've made the first one, the second one and the third one. Then we make 5 treble crochet, into the loop, making sure to work under 2 strands. That's 3 made, 2 more. And this is the 5th one. Once again, you can use a different stitch. You could make this in double crochet rather than trebles, or you could add more or less trebles or less stitches to make the butterfly's wing bigger. It's up to you. Now at this stage, when I have 5 trebles made, I make a picot, which consists of making 3 chains and slip stitching back into the first chain. And that'll give the little tip on the top of the butterfly's wing. Then I make 3 chain and slip stitch back into the magic loop, making sure to go under the 2 threads. Now I'll do that again. I make the 5 treble crochets, and then I make a picot by making 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitching back into the first of the 3 chains. That can be a little bit tricky, so kind of take it easy. Then I continue on with the pattern. I make 3 chains and I slip stitch back down into and under the 2 strands or threads of the magic loop. And that's the butterfly's first wing made. Now you can fiddle around with it later and tighten it up. That's basically it. So for the other side we start off, for the other wing I should say, apologies to the butterfly, 3 chain, we make 1 treble, I'm having a hard time splitting yarn today. We make our first treble and then we make 3 chains and we slip stitch back into the first chain to make a picot, to make the little sticky out bit on top of the butterfly's wing. Then we continue on making 4 treble crochets in and around the magic loop. This is very, very easy once you get the hang of it. It's, what have I there? I have 4, and number 5, treble number 5. And make 3 chains and slip stitch back under the 2 threads of your magic loop. And then taking this end, just tighten up the whole body of the butterfly. And you see how he's formed now. So that's my final loop there. So I'm going to cut my thread once I find the scissors. Pull the thread through the loop, then tighten up the end going from the magic loop bit and wrap the ends around once or twice. Now I wrap them around fairly firmly, but I don't pull them too tight because I'm going to make the butterfly's antenna by I'll just do 2 wraps, 2 wraps really is enough, by putting my hook under the wraps I've made for his body, catching up one of the ends. See what I've done? I'll do that again just in case you haven't seen it. I slip the hook under the wraps of thread I've made for his body. Actually, I go right back again and do the wrapping bit. When I finished off the stitches, yeah, when I finished off making the stitches, I get the 2 ends and I wrap them around the body. Yeah, I think once is enough there. I want to make sure I have enough thread to make his antennae. Then I get the hook and I put the hook under the wraps and I take the ends one at a time, wrap the end around the hook and bring it under the wraps to make a loop on the hook, and then I make a few chains for the antenna. I've left very little thread here, so he won't have an awful lot to show off. But that's it basically. That's one made. You don't have to darn in, you just cut it off and maybe put a little dab of glue up here to secure it. And then we go back again and we do the same thing for the other antenna. We just get the hook, slip it under the wraps that we made for his body, and then wrap your yarn around the hook and draw it under the body. 1, 2, 3. You can make as many chains as you like, or as that you've kind of got enough, depending on the amount of yarn you've left. And I just finish it off here. This fella, he's a bit scutty looking, but what can you expect? He was... Yeah, there we are. Now you could bling him up a bit by putting stones or something for his body, like this. Putting some stones around him, or you could put a little stone or something, a little pearl or a gem on top of his antenna, or even on top of the tips of his wing tips. You could also make him the other way around, you know, just finish him off up at the other end and have the little fancy wing tips coming down. You could also make something like this without the antenna, just ignore it and just ignore what I've done. with them, and use the pattern to make angel wings. Maybe put a few little trails of ribbon or something around the under the wraps and turn it into a little angel, and maybe glue a head or something on the top. So you can play around with it. This is a really versatile pattern. This 3 chain, 5 treble, 3 chain kind of little petal or little semicircle. You can play around with it and make an awful lot of things with it. So I hope that's of use to somebody. It's, yeah, he would look nice with a little green body, little yellowy green body, and some bits and pieces added to him, or even a little bit of yarn or something trailing out the end, you know, trailing along to give the effect that he was flying. Once again, I'll put the pattern in the description box. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And if anybody would like me to do a video doing a run through of the basic stitches, you can let me know. Let me know in the comments as well. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you're all having a good day.